Hello there, welcome to today's video. So here we are going to do a home called Modern Getaway. This is basically just a test trial of the new stuff that I have. They're not new stuff to the game, of course, because I'm always like a couple packs behind, mostly because I wait for sales. But I recently got Jungle Adventure, and it's called Jungle Adventure, right? Yeah, I think so. It's that pack with Selva Dorada. And they had a lot of really cool build and buy items, and I guess I was just waiting for a sale to come along, and they finally did. They usually have sales that are like 50% off, so I wait for those. But yeah, so I just got Jungle Adventure stuff. Is it really called Jungle Adventure? I feel like that sounds wrong, but it also sounds right at the same time. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, so I just got Jungle Adventure, and I've been playing around with a lot of the plants that they've had. Because the pack, it has a lot of just really cool items. Not even items that are specifically like themed around the pack, but I don't know, just a lot of really cool things that the pack comes with, and I'm really happy that I got it. I also got another pack. What is it called? Oh boy, I don't even remember what the pack's name is, but I remember I bought two of them. I don't know. I think it's a stuff pack. Oh yeah, so it's laundry day. I don't know why I forgot about that, because this build actually features a laundry. So yeah, I thought I would add it in since, I haven't even played around with laundry or anything. So there is a sneaky little laundry room downstairs, and by downstairs I kind of mean in like the basement section. So obviously, as you can tell, we are doing a little bit of some terrain editing. So there's a certain portion of the house that's on the kind of like the ground floor, but sort of the basement. It's weird because the house is kind of on a slope, so there's parts of the house that are like, I guess the basement, and then parts of it are like raised up. Anyways, you can kind of visually see it if you want. And yeah, so there is a laundry, and then there's a couple of bedrooms. Let's see how many bedrooms I included. I think that it's a 4-bedroom house. We managed to get 3 bedrooms up on the top, master bedroom on the ground floor, and then in the basement there's like a sneaky, I guess a recreational room, just a room. It's kind of like your typical average basement, you kind of keep the random hodgepodgey kind of things down there, mostly because your guests are invited to like the main portion of the house, so you can keep your basement as messy as you want. Although even though I say that, the basement actually turns out to be not messy. It's actually pretty neat. But I don't know why I'm talking about that, because this is actually only going to be part 1. So yes, this is the classic two-parter, or not two-parter really, but usually my videos end up being multiple parts because I'm not a fast builder. I actually take quite a long time to build. But with that said, this one actually took me not a decent amount of time, but like a good amount of time. It's not my longest build ever. It just spans 2 parts. So expect the second part sometime. I don't know, with my schedule, not my schedule, but with my upload schedule, you can never tell when the next part will be up. So yeah, this is just part 1, and this is mostly just going to be the exterior kind of build. We're just getting the basic framework of the house, and yeah. I build the same way all the time. I usually build the outside, like the exterior stuff first, and then I go on to the interior, and then I finish off with like maybe a little landscape if I didn't do it in the previous parts. So that's basically this build. Anyways, let's talk about like the styling of it. As you can see, there's like a lot of natural, neutral color palettes, natural materials like stone, like wood. And yeah, I'm definitely using a lot of neutral colors as well. It's a very earthy tone building, a lot of browns, a lot of grays. I'm using blacks as well. I feel like, it's been like a faux pas, like a color faux pas or something, forever to not like use brown and black together, but to be honest, I don't really mind. Black isn't really like a color, so I always thought it was fine with brown. And yeah, so we are using black in the kind of exterior frames. I don't know, I just kind of felt like doing this and I thought it looked kind of cool. So as you can see, the columns are acting not as like a column really, but as like a frame, an exterior frame of the house. So it was kind of interesting because I extended the eaves of the roofs and then I lifted the columns up with the 9 key to sort of touch the eaves. And I thought it created like a really cool element. It's not something that I've done before, but I've always kind of considered it, but this is, I guess, my first go at it. So that was kind of fun. Also, right there, kind of, you can kind of see the, the windows kind of descend or decline. And that's, I guess, to match the roofs, because I really wanted to emphasize the angularity, I guess, of the roofs. So I did make the windows kind of emphasize it. So obviously you can see that they kind of cascade down. So I thought that was kind of cool. And yeah, it was definitely a little bit of a struggle though, because I really wanted to put roofs, but I was struggling because I'm trying to use less roofs in my builds. I showed like my dad, who's an architect, some of my builds, and he was just like, you use way too many windows. Like that would never be like in an actual house, because you would just lose tons of money on energy because you're trying to like heat up your house or something in the cold, or cool down your house in the heat. So I don't know, that was his basically only comment that he gave me. But yeah, anyways, here are all the roofs, or all the windows. And yes, I am using kind of like a hodgepodge mix of different windows. So yeah, but here's the thing, I think they all do kind of go together. They're all really simple, plain, modern windows. I think, what am I using, like 4 different types of windows? Yeah, I think 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4, but I also think I use a couple of maybe other different roofs, or not roofs, windows. Yeah, quite possibly. Anyways, I am just moving on to a little bit of landscaping, because I don't know, I just pulled out the landscaping tools and items, and I saw Jungle Adventure stuff, and I just got so eager to use them that now I'm just taking a huge break from building and I'm just filling it all with plants. And I knew instantaneously, I don't know why I said instantaneously, I meant to say immediately, when I did the sloped section of the house, that I knew half of it would be on a slope, that I wanted to put plants on that like sloped angle, so it would kind of blend in a little bit, because terrain is nice, but terrain also kind of sucks though too, because if you put a wall next to terrain, it creates this like really big ditch in like the terrain. It looks really stupid, so you have to like find in cool ways to get around that. So here I'm just using a bunch of plants to sort of hide everything. That's like the way to do it. Anytime you like something looks ugly in terrain, just hide it with plants or rocks, and then you'll be good. The only thing though is that, you know, if you have like a huge lot, sometimes, you know, plants can be a little bit much. If you're using too many of them, it can make your lot slow. Who knows? And yeah, so this is probably, it's not my favorite part, but it's a really cool part of the house I like. So you kind of have a basement entrance as well. So technically the front door is on the 2nd floor, and then there's a sneaky little doorway in the basement section. So you can either go up the stairs, you can go behind the wall, and that's towards the basement section. But that is more of the kind of like fun recreational area. And yeah, anyways, so we are just kind of bouncing back between landscaping and then exteriors and stuff. We are focusing very heavily on the front. I don't know, I was just getting carried away with doing the front section. I was really into it, so I thought I'd just continue it. But we're finally going on to the back. As you can kind of see, the front and the back of the house actually looks pretty similar to each other. It's, dare I say, it's almost exactly like the same. Yeah, it's pretty similar. I don't know. I mean, I liked it, so it's not like I wanted to change it. And yeah, we're just going to push and pull a couple of like little things around because, you know, the walls looked a little bit odd, but yeah. And then I knew that with this build, I did want to include a walkout basement. So this section at the back, the basement section, does have a door going outside, so yeah, it's like a nice little walkout basement, and I really like it. And yeah, so we are just continuing on. One of the things that I will say about this build is that stairs, or like trying to fit stairs into this house was a little bit of an issue. You can kind of see it in I don't know if it's this part, I think it might be the next part, but yes, trying to fit stairs into this build for some reason was like really tricky. So also with that said, that basement is a little bit weird because there's actually no internal entrance to the basement. And by that I mean that from like if you're inside the house, you can't get to the basement without going outside. So you have to use an exterior staircase to go to the basement, which isn't like the best, I would say. So yeah, you have to go outside to go to the basement, but you know, it's all right. You know, in reality though, that would actually like legitimately suck though, because the laundry's in the basement. So imagine if you had to, like, every single time you had to do laundry, you would have to go outside. Actually, you know what, that's not that big of a deal. I mean, way back when we didn't have like washing machines, people had to do their laundry outside. I mean, The Sims, even in Laundry Day, they have the outdoor laundry stuff, like the wash bin and then the like dry, what is it called? The clothing line? I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Anyways, like I said, the back looks very similar to the front, just maybe not super as much detailed, but we are going to add tons of plants as well to make it look a little bit more, I don't know, fit into the environment, fit into the terrain a little bit more. And yeah, so on that one section on the right side, as you can kind of see, we have the basement, we have the sort of first/second floor, and then we have a floor above that, and then we also have a roof section. So it almost looks, if you go to like the one side, yeah, this side, it almost looks like this house is like 4 stories high, which is really crazy. So I knew it kind of looked a little bit weird because how tall it was. So here I'm adding kind of like walls, but like kind of like separator divider things, or privacy walls, to kind of cover the fact that it is so tall. So that's what that like wall fencey thing is. It's supposed to look like a fence, but it's technically a wall. And yeah, and it's funny, so on that one side it looks like it's 4 stories high, but then if you go on the other side, like the complete opposite side, it's like 1 story tall. So it's a really interesting house because it either looks like it's 4 stories tall or it looks like it's 1 story tall. And yeah, so we are mapping out a little bit of the floor plan, but I will say, I don't know why I decided to include this. Maybe, I don't know, because a lot of this changes. Like this whole thing is just redundant, or not redundant, but unnecessary, because it all changes. It literally all changes. Nothing is the same. Yeah, I mean, these windows I think are the same, but the whole floor plan on the interior is not correct. I know I said that we are going to touch the interior in the next part, but we are going to do like a sneaky little bit of the kitchen. So the kitchen is going to stay, but I was just doing a whole like bit of timing, so it took me a lot longer to furnish than it did to build, so I thought I would include a little bit of furnishing in this part. Oh, we do get onto the stairs. Yeah, here I'm trying to just figure out where the stairs can go, and then doors kept getting in the way, and then that one side of the entrance side of the house had so many doors on it. It was just getting really crazy. As you can see, the floor plan is still changing. I was also trying to get a bathroom in, but this bathroom is like a 2x2, and I really wanted to include like either a shower or a tub. And if you're playing with The Sims and stuff, you can't. Ooh, my speaker just turned off. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Yeah, so with The Sims, it's hard to get like a full set bathroom with a 2x2 floor, or blueprint, I guess, or floor plan, tile wide, whatever. So yeah, basically whatever I'm doing, it's not staying, but this is staying. The kitchen part is staying. So in this bottom part, we're just including a kitchen, a dining room, and then the whole like big windowed side on the right, that is going to be a really big like living room, family room kind of style. So yeah, it's gonna be good. It is an interesting, every single time I do a build, I always kind of get in the trap of kind of building the same things. So I'm trying to do something a little bit different, not in terms of the build, but in terms of the interior. So I think this interior is slightly different than the style that I usually go for, but at the same time, you know, it's my style, so it's probably really resemblant of other builds that I've done in the past. It's modern, it's contemporary, which I really like. I guess my style, I don't know if I've ever talked about my style before, but I kind of like, well, if you've seen a lot of the videos on my channel, I do like modern contemporary. I do actually like industrial a little bit, but I haven't yet done an industrial build. Maybe I should do that one day. Yeah, that'd be nice. I also really like rustic as well. Not super rustic, but I like rustic details, like a shaggy carpet or something, or a lot of wood details, and yeah, so it'd be cool. I feel like I'm getting into the trap of just doing the same builds over and over again, but you know, I like it. I like the builds that I do. I would honestly like live in every single one of my houses. I always feel like, you know, I want to build my dream house, but to be honest, every single time I do a build, I always am thinking like, hey, that could be my dream house. Like that's a really nice place to live. I would like to live there. Even the tiny homes that I've done, I haven't done a ton of them, but even those I'd be like, yeah, I could totally live in that house. I don't really have a dream house. You know, that's just something that I've never really done. I like houses, but I don't really have a particular house in mind that's like my absolutely dream. But like I said, all of these I could see myself living in if I had the funds. I mean, I would assume that like in real life, these houses that I build would probably not be the most affordable. So there's that. Anyways, this kitchen I really like. Sorry, I'm just gonna talk through the screenshots about the kitchen, but I added that like rusticy, shaggy carpet kind of thing, and I think it added so much warmth to the kitchen because we are using concrete flooring, so it is a little bit cold looking, but since we added that rug, I think it looks so much better. Anyways, I could talk over the screenshots because they're all basically the same. It's just a rotation around the build. Not much to say here, but it does look kind of cool. I like it. It looks, I mean, I think it looks good, and I think that's all that matters. Oh, we actually didn't do the landscape at the back. Sorry, we're gonna do that in the next part. There's gonna be landscape stuff in the back. Here are the floor plans, just showing you what it's like before because it's all going to change. And yeah, one last finishing screenshot. But stay tuned for the next part. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.